Greetings, subscribers! Smallville was a popular TV show which ran from 2001 through 2011 and was mainly about young Clark Kent before he becomes Superman. Over the years, this show brought on so many different comic book characters as guests that I really don't want to take the time to list each one. But the very first guest the show ever brought on was Bart Allen. Who is Bart Allen? In the comics, he's the grandson of Barry Allen, who I'm sure you know is the main character of the current Flash TV series. Bart is a teenage speedster hero from the future who comes back in time to our present. At one point he was Kid Flash, at another point he was even the Flash, but for the majority of his time, he's a hero called Impulse. So, how accurate to the comics was Smallville's portrayal of Bart Allen? Well, today I'm going to go over the basic outline of Bart's role in Smallville. Bart Allen is first seen in Season 4's 5th episode titled Run. He's introduced as a teenager in Metropolis who already has speed powers and accepts paid gigs from local criminals to use his powers to steal. Notice his backpack includes a lightning symbol, kind of like the Flash's symbol. At one point, Clark and his father Jonathan are walking around Metropolis, and Bart saves Jonathan from a car accident, but also steals his wallet. Clark becomes aware of both Bart's speed powers and his criminal action. Clark, with the help of his friend Chloe, is able to track down Bart, and he goes to Bart's new Metropolis apartment to confront him. Bart is only able to afford this apartment with the money he stole from Jonathan. Clark sees several fake IDs Bart is using with the names Jay Garrick, Barry Allen, and Wally West. Obvious Easter eggs to the comics, though it's never explained where Bart got these names from. There's a chase scene with Clark and Bart, and they end up at the Kent farm. Clark knows that Bart has done some bad things, but he's also able to see the good side of Bart. The two become friends as they're both able to relate to each other, and they both have powers they have to hide and feel different than other people. Bart briefly mentions he got his powers as a result of an accident, but does not go into any detail. Later at a local coffee shop in Smallville, Bart becomes interested in Clark's friend Chloe, and he tells Chloe he's from the future. He says it like he's joking, but fans wonder how much he's joking, since in the comics Bart really is from the future, and here most of his background is a mystery. This episode goes on to have more fights between Clark and Bart, both verbal and physical, but in the end, they're clearly friends. Bart says he wants to travel the world and see what more superpowered people he can find. Clark asks Bart to stay in Smallville. Bart says, in a friendly way, that he'll only do it if Clark can catch him, which Clark clearly cannot. And that's how the episode ends. We next see Bart in Season 6's 11th episode titled Justice. After having already seen Green Arrow, Cyborg, and Aquaman established in other episodes, this is the first episode in which we learn they're working together as a team. Now there's endless great things I could say about this episode, but since I want to keep this video focused on how the show portrayed Bart, I'll just say that in this episode we first heard Bart going by the code name Impulse, and Green Arrow states that Bart did not choose the name himself. His suit does not bear a strong resemblance to that of Impulse's comic book counterpart, but it sure does look a lot closer to Impulse's comic book counterpart than Flash's or Kid Flash's. This episode does not reveal any more about Bart's past, and it just ends with us seeing that Bart is still a solid member of this superhero team. Over the seasons, we saw this team gain some more members, but really only saw them working together in fragmented teams. Aside from a few quick still images here and there, we don't see Bart again until Season 8's 22nd episode, the season finale titled Doomsday. This episode shows Bart along with Green Arrow and Black Canary. Of course we get to see Bart use his powers and see him in costume. The only thing this episode really adds to Bart's story is that we see where his loyalties lie when there's tension between Clark Kent and Green Arrow. And that's basically it for what we saw of Bart Allen on the TV show Smallville. I should mention that after the show ended, there was a comic book continuing the show's story in direct continuity, and it included a few episodes with Bart. I didn't read all the issues with him, but I can tell you these comics did confirm more about Bart's background, including confirming that this version of Bart is indeed from the future. It also showed Bart interacting with Jay Garrick. but I don't want to get too deep into that because this video is supposed to be more about the show. Okay, so what was my opinion of Bart Allen on Smallville? Overall, thumbs up. I thought actor Kyle Gallner was a good fit for the part. He was entertaining, and he found chemistry with the other actors he worked with. I thought the effects of his super speed all worked. Sure, they were not as good as seeing Quicksilver in the movie X-Men Apocalypse, but when you keep in mind that these were episodes of a TV show, I felt perfectly satisfied with what I saw. If I had to mention something I did not like, then I guess my biggest criticism would be that I would have liked to have had more of Bart's background and origin explained. But at the same time, I kind of understood why the writers could not do that. In the comics, it's an important part of Bart's story that he's the grandson of Barry Allen, and this show Smallville never had Barry Allen. Also in the comics, in addition to being Impulse, Bart was briefly both Kid Flash and the Flash. When you consider that Smallville was supposed to be focused on the story of Clark Kent, I don't know how much I could have realistically expected the writers to tell about Bart's complex story in the show. I'll also add that I kind of wish the Impulse suit looked a little more like that of the comics, but at the same time, I think I recognize what the producers are trying to do. They were trying to have some similarities between the suits of Impulse, Green Arrow, and Cyborg, and I understood why. They were trying to symbolize a unity that this team had. The only thing I'd like to add to this video is that I wish the writers of the current Flash show would remember Bart Allen on Smallville. It's great that these writers remember the 1990 Flash TV show and have included John Wesley Shipp on the current show. But I wish they'd also find a way to include actor Kyle Gallner. He was good on the show Smallville, and I've seen him in a handful of other movies, and he was good in all of them as well. I already posted one video about my fan fiction ideas of how Gallner could be used on the current Flash show. I said in flashbacks or time travel we could see the father of Henry Allen / Jay Garrick, and he could be played by actor Kyle Gallner, as Gallner is now too old to play Impulse. But that's just my idea. If the writers wanted to come up with a completely different way the actor could be used, I'd be all for it. I'd just like to see this actor used somehow. But either way, if you're a fan of the Flash show and you've never seen these episodes of Smallville, I do highly recommend you watch them. I hope you understand that watching this video is no substitute for watching the real thing. And as always, I'd like to hear some feedback from you viewers. If you haven't seen these episodes, then does this video make you want to see them? Or if you have seen them, then do you think I summarized them well? Or do you disagree? Or do you remember other details you feel I should have mentioned? Please leave it all in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more of my videos, then please feel free to hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you. Thank you.